Andrew Cuomo may be gone, but the stench of corruption is still wafting through the halls of the Capitol. The new boss is indeed exactly the same as the old boss, and in record speed, Kathy Hochul has proven she's just as corrupt as the last governor. And it's no surprise, really, given that she quietly and dutifully served as Andrew Cuomo's lieutenant, while his brazen corruption was on display for all to see. And there's still countless questions that have gone unanswered about what Kathy Hochul knew and when Kathy Hochul knew it. But even giving a free pass and the chance to set a totally new course, Kathy Hochul used her first major decision as governor to choose a lieutenant governor who was mired in ethics scandals. Now, what we publicly knew about Brian Benjamin should have immediately disqualified him. Brian Benjamin was forced to pay back $25,000 after improperly using campaign funds on things like his wedding and personal gas expenses. Now, how typical is it, by the way, that Democrats are illegally using campaign funds to pay their gas bills while pushing their radical energy policies on hardworking New Yorkers who are having a hard time affording to fill their tanks to get to work? It didn't stop there, though. Benjamin's campaign was under investigation for being involved in a massive campaign finance scheme and cover-up, creating phony straw donors to illegally obtain public finance money. And his close ally has already been arrested and charged. His campaign has received subpoenas from the Manhattan DA's office. And when asked if she knew this before selecting him as her running mate, Kathy Hochul feigned total ignorance. Give me a break. Does Kathy Hochul think New Yorkers are that dumb or ignorant to think that there had been no questions asked during the vetting process? It just does not pass the smell test. Kathy Hochul is so arrogant to think that if she just flashes a smile and plays dumb that the press and the public will continue to look the other way. It's a disturbing pattern, and we've seen it from her time and again. It started with Cuomo's corruption and misdeeds. But even just last week, Hochul was asked about SUNY Brockport hosting cop killer Anthony Bottom, a huge controversy involving a state university, and it's been all over the news. And when she was cornered on it by a member of the news media, Kathy Hochul stared like a deer in headlights and just kept repeating that she wasn't familiar with the details. What's next? Is she going to claim that she didn't know Russia invaded the Ukraine? Or that Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars? Come on. Kathy Hochul needs to stop the innocent dumb act. She is just as calculating as Andrew Cuomo, and that's a real high bar. Corruption and mismanagement continue to permeate the governor's office like a plague. And now, a lot of people are skeptical that Albany can ever be cleaned up. And I don't blame them. But my message to them is simple. Stop doing exactly the same thing and expecting a different result. Every Democrat governor since the last Republican governor has been mired in scandal. We've had 15 years of governors who have been forced from office, all Democrats. This year, New Yorkers have the opportunity to say, enough is enough. Their policies are wrong, and their ethics are even worse. They have not earned the right to be entrusted with your hard-earned tax dollars. And if they're given a pass and able to win this November, they'll be even more emboldened. The lieutenant governor is a heartbeat away from the governor's office. And if history is any indication, whoever is elected to that position has a very real possibility of assuming the governorship at some point. Do you think someone under federal investigation for illegal use of taxpayer dollars should hold that position? Do you think someone who chose this person to be their partner should be our governor? It's like knowingly putting Bernie Madoff in charge of your bank account. It would be insane. And so too would be electing the Hochul-Benjamin administration to be in charge of your tax dollars. It's time for New Yorkers to take back their power from the corrupt, lawless Democrats who have treated them like an ATM to pay for their power. It all ends on November 8th when we vote to elect a Republican governor and save our state.